Hi, Voice Global. This is Lee Boonstra. I'm a developer advocate at Google, specifically for conversational AI, so Dialogflow, speech technology, and contact center technology. And today I'm going to talk about improving your customer care by building an AI platform. Chatbots, they are expected to trim the business costs by more than 8 billion within the next couple of years, according to a research done by Juniper Research. Why is this such a hype, chatbots? Because don't chatbots exist already since the 90s? Well, the reason for that is that back in the past, chatbots were built by programmers. And it meant like when you would type your question in a chatbot, it would answer it very literally because it was built that way. So that means if you would spell your question wrong or you would ask your question on a different way, the chatbot wouldn't know what to answer. But nowadays, we're making use of machine learning to power chatbots. We can understand the question, we know what has been said, and we can match it to the right answer. What is machine learning? Well, think about it. When you were a kid, as a kid, you learned a new language not by reading a dictionary. No, you learned your languages by seeing examples. For example, if you would see a car on the road, and the next day you would see a bike on the road, you would know like, oh, that's a car and that's a bike. You can distinguish one from the other because a car has more wheels than a bike has. Well, the same is for machine learning models. Data scientists, they build a model and they feed it with lots and lots of data. And at some point, when the machine learning model has seen so much data, then it will start to recognize patterns. And then it can make predictions. So it could predict this is a car or this is a bike. And just like kids, when I would say to my parents, like, look, that's a car. And my parents would correct me and say, like, Lee, that's actually not a car, that's a truck because it's bigger or it has more wheels. And the same is for machine learning models. We can correct the model so it becomes smarter over time. Now, when we think about chatbots, this is all about machine learning. Think about the Google Nest, the Google Nest Hub, Google Nest Mini, or previously known as the Google Home. And this device itself, that's just a smart speaker, a speaker with a microphone connected to the internet. But it uses machine learning models to make it actually smart. For example, you can speak to it with human language, and it takes the spoken language and converts it to written text. Then we're using natural language understanding. That's a model to understand what has been said. So then we understand what has been said, and then we can match it to the right answer. We do that through intent matching or intent classification. We know what the right answer should be. And then we return the answer by speaking it out, a synthesizer. So that's like a text-to-speech model, like WaveNet models. It's all about machine learning. And you can build chatbots with a tool like Dialogflow. Dialogflow, and you might have heard of it, formerly known as API.ai, is a development suite for building conversational UIs. And it uses machine learning. So if we think about the chatbots from the 90s, those chatbots, they were built where you had to ask something very literally. If you spelled it wrong or you said it on a different way, chatbot didn't know what to answer. But nowadays, with machine learning powered chatbots, we can really understand what has been said through natural language understanding and through intent matching, like figuring out like what the real intent is and giving the right answer. This is what Dialogflow does really well. And it's cross-platform. You can use it with a web UI, but it also comes with an SDK, so developers can also connect it to whatever system they like. It's very scalable. And we support over 20 languages, over 15 different built-in channels. But if you have other channels that you want to make use of, you can just connect it to. What's also really nice about Dialogflow is that it comes with an enterprise version. So this is great for when you're a bigger company or an enterprise. It comes with an SLA, it has support, it means it's compliant, whatever you're using it for the GDPR or whatever compliance, it's compliant. It comes with great documentation, roles and permissions, and it's all powered by the Google Cloud infrastructure. So you can use all other components if you want to. And it has a higher call quota. Let's have a look into a demo. Dialogflow works based on intent matching. This means that you as a UX designer can specify certain flows, like certain parts of conversations, and we train Dialogflow based on those conversation parts. Now, if the user says something or types a question in the chatbot, it will look through all the intents to see which one has the highest match. That match, that will return the answer. So here what you see on my screen is a list of all the intents that I have created. And an intent could be, for example, in my case, I created a chatbot for banks or finance sectors. And in this example, I would like to transfer money. Transferring money is a part of a conversation. I can ask it in various different ways. So I specify training phrases. Like, can I send money to Russia? I would like to transfer money. I would like to give €14.50 to bank account 0123456789 in Germany. There are all different ways in how I can say the same thing. Why are certain words marked? Well, these are actually entities, custom entities. And that means like what I pass in is variable. So it's a parameter that will send later to a backend, for example. And whether I say Russia or Germany or Spain, it doesn't matter. It noticed that Russia is a system entity. These are like countries or the names of a month or days in a week. Those are variables that Dialogflow already is aware of. So it will mark that. But I can also create my own entities. I do that in the entities screen. I will show you that later. So in your intent, you create training phrases to train your intent. You can also specify an answer. In my example, I hard-coded the answers, but in a real banking application, that's probably not the case because Dialogflow is not transferring money. No, you as a bank will do that. So you will connect to a backend system and the backend system follows up. If that's the case, then you need to select fulfillment and you enable a webhook. These are all the parameters that will be used and sent to the backend. So in my case, an account number, which is what I need for transferring money, a destination, and an amount. I mentioned entities before. Entities are objects where you can take action on. So for example, a payment category. A payment category could be I can transfer money for flights, for groceries, for mortgage. I can take actions on that. These are actually parameters or key value pairs. And I can define synonyms because I can say things in a different way. I could say, I want to transfer money for a restaurant, or I want to transfer money for a dinner or a lunch. And it will classify it as a restaurant. The fulfillment, this is when you want to connect it to your own backend system. In my example, I don't do this, but if I'm interested in doing so, I can enable the webhook and specify the URL of my own web services. It's also possible to use the inline editor, and then I can use JavaScript to write a cloud function and to execute some code based on my chatbot conversations. Then you can integrate your chatbot with various channels. We have out of the box a whole bunch of channels that you can use. For example, the Google Assistant. This is a very interesting one, or very easy one, because you only need to click on the pop-up and run test. And since it's connected to your Google account, it will automatically deploy your test app to the Google Assistant simulator, and you can try it with a test account. We have integrations for telephony partners. These are one-click telephony partners. So, for example, if you want to have an integration with Avaya, you just need to click on it and follow the wizard. Or there is a Dialogflow default gateway. It gives you a telephone number, and you can call that number, and then you get the chatbot on the other end of the line. We have integrations with Genesis out of the box. Also through Contact Center AI, you can make use of all the other telephony partners. You can make text-based chatbots, for example, for web. We have two example web integrations. One is a pop-up, a simple pop-up. The other one is a more advanced pop-up. It's new and in beta. It allows you to change the styling or create some custom cards. You can also make use of the SDK. This is what I did, and I will show you that in my later examples today, where I use the SDK to integrate it in my own website or app. We have channels for Facebook Messenger, Hangouts, Slack, Twitter, you name it. And if the integration that you need is not in here, that's not a big deal, and you can implement it through the SDK. But you need, of course, you need a developer for that. All right, there are different types of conversational AIs that you can build with Dialogflow. The chatbots, as you might know, the chatbots on web, and these can be public-facing chatbots, this can be internal-facing chatbots, maybe like ticketing robots or something. This can be chatbots on social media. Likely when you think about chatbots, you think about this category. The voice assistants. You've heard today a lot about it, I am sure. That these are the voice assistants from Google, for example, the Google Assistant or the Siris, the Alexas. These are the AIs that are built in on smartphones or smart devices, such as the Nest Hub, such as smartwatches, even built in TVs. And then you have the last category. These are the callbots. This is a category I'm sure you are maybe not so familiar with. And these are the robots in the contact center. So that means like a robot that can pick up the phone for you and answer all the questions. Think about phone reservation systems. Think about busy contact centers where you want to automate things. Now maybe you think like, oh, well, what's so special about that? Isn't that the same as the Google Assistant, but then in a phone? No, it works a lot different. If you think about the Google Assistant or virtual assistants in general, they usually work with short utterances. So that means like you can say something like, hey Google, turn off the lights. It's a simple sentence and we can match easily to one intent. But when you have voice technology built in a contact center, think about it, like people, they pick up the phone and they start whole conversations, whole stories. So these are long utterances. We're streaming whole conversations and we need to figure out the intent. Now, sometimes for a human that's already difficult, especially when people start having like whole stories with all other people and then having multiple questions all combined in one. For a human that's difficult, for a machine that is difficult as well. But yeah, we have technology that's very smart in it and that can figure out like from all this amount of information, the real question is this and this should be the answer. Think about the last time when you called a contact center. Now, I bet that experience wasn't that great, wasn't it? Long waiting times, especially now during the COVID situation. Long hold times. They put you on hold. Unlimited call transfers. I hate that myself. When you're telling first a problem to someone and then they connect you to somebody from the technical department and you have to rephrase your whole question again. IVRs that are difficult to navigate. Think about like a whole menu structure and then you need number 9 in order to continue. Availability happens a lot here in Europe. You know, if you call after 5 p.m., then suddenly you get like a tape recording saying like, yeah, I'm sorry, we're closed. Inadequate information happens a lot, I would say, at insurances, healthcare insurances. At the end of the year, what happens here is then there are so much load, so many people are calling to the contact center, so they hire students to pick up the phone, and these students weren't properly trained in the right time, so their answers are inadequate or different than from each other. For an agent, it's also difficult to work in a contact center, or the experience can be harsh. Like you have to answer all the time the same type of questions, and yeah, especially with all those long waiting times and so, yeah, people are not the nicest ones. It's very stressful. So how can we solve this? Now, and this is where our solution comes in. It's powered by Dialogflow. It's called Contact Center AI, and it makes the experience of calling a service number better. Better for the customer, but also better for a business. It's an out-of-the-box solution where Google works together with telephony partners. So you don't need to be an AI expert or machine learning expert. No, it will be automatically deployed in your contact center because all these contact center providers such as an Avaya, a Genesys, a Cisco, they already work with this. They can enable it for you. And the solution makes use of Dialogflow and other Google Cloud technology components such as speech-to-text and text-to-speech to provide you this whole automated experience. Let's have a look.
Hello Mala, I'm an automated agent. Welcome back to eBay. It looks like we just delivered you white Pamarca size 6 running shoes on June 25th. Are you calling about this order?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, how can I help you with that order?
Unfortunately, they don't fit, so I need to return them.
I can help you with that. I am starting a return for you. You will be receiving an email with the details of your return.
Cool, thanks.
Mala conversed with a virtual agent that understood Mala's intent to return her shoes and automatically fulfilled it. But now Mala needs another, better-fitting pair of shoes. The virtual agent will detect this and will offer to connect Mala to a live agent.
One more thing. Would you like me to connect you to an eBay fashion expert to help find you the right shoes?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Mala now wants to purchase a pair of shoes. Google Contact Center AI recognizes this intent and works with Genesys predictive routing to find the best agent to help. Genesys predicts that Josh, among all qualified agents, is the best matching fashion expert to help Mala at this moment. Mala's call is routed to Josh, including all previous context about Mala's order and her conversation with the virtual agent.
Hello there, Mala. My name is Josh. I'd be happy to help you find the right.
The transcript of Mala's conversation with a virtual agent is visible to Josh, and her conversation with Josh is also transcribed and interpreted in real time. As Josh and Mala are speaking, Agent Assist interprets the audio and builds context on the meaning and the intent of the conversation. This allows Agent Assist to find relevant answers and articles to help Josh in real time.
I definitely recommend tennis shoes since they're designed to have the right support, grip, and to avoid an injury. What type of court will you be playing on?
It will be primarily hard court.
And is Pamarca your brand of preference, or would you like to explore other brands?
I like Pamarca shoes.
Agent Assist detected in real time that another knowledge base page contains the right content for Mala's request and made it available to Josh.
All right. I just searched eBay for you for hard court tennis shoes, women's size 6, and I found a great listing. Would you like me to text it to you, or would you rather receive it via email?
Could you text it?
Certainly. Thanks for choosing eBay.
So as you just have seen in the video, we're improving the experience here with Contact Center AI. These are robots that understand your question. No longer you need to listen to a whole audio recording or press IVR keys. You can just phrase your question and the robot will understand what's been said and what to answer. You don't need to be transferred to another agent and rephrase yourself. No, the robot picks up the phone. And that means also that your call time will be shorter. That means that there won't be a waiting time. So especially now during Corona, like everyone that calls, especially the ones that are having the similar questions, the robot will answer the conversation for you. That means that you can be 24/7 available and nobody will send you to the website to look the information up there. Like now the robot fetches the information from a central database. It's also powered by your website, for example. So it always gives the right answer. This is also very great for agents and businesses, because as you have seen in the video, like once the robot picks up the phone and gives an answer, if the robot does not know what to answer, then it can do a handover to a human employee. That one picks up the phone, but the robot is still listening in. So the robot can give suggestions in real time on the screen of the agent. And therefore, you can shorten the call time and the training cycles. Like the agent doesn't need to do all this repetitive or boring work because it's all been automated, and therefore you can close cases much more quickly. For a business, this is also great because the business gets a lot of insights. They can see exactly like what type of questions have been asked, what is the most discussed, and so on. They can see full transcripts and they can integrate it with their existing contact center infrastructure. So at the end, cost reduction. This technology makes use of text-to-speech, the Google quality, the wavenets, as you have seen. Now let's have a look into some of these examples. What you will see here is two different examples of voices, text-to-speech voices. The first example, these are the standard voices. These are the speech models that we used in the past. And the second example, these will be the wavenet voices. And you will notice that these are more human-like. So let's have a look and listen to these voices.
Google Cloud Text-to-Speech enables developers to synthesize natural-sounding speech with 100+ voices, available in multiple languages and variants.
Google Cloud Text-to-Speech enables developers to synthesize natural-sounding speech with 100+ voices, available in multiple languages and variants.
So you clearly hear the difference between both voices. People like wavenet models better because they sound more human-like. And that brings us to the next problem. Once it sounds very human-like, customers, especially in contact centers, they want to use their own custom voices to pick up the phones. Maybe you have like a radio commercial voice, and that should be the voice that picks up the phone for you. Well, that's often a very complex process, and it's also often cost a lot. But at Google, we have a new technology, and that is called Tacotron 2. And with Tacotron 2, we can very easily, through machine learning, generate custom voices for you. And we only need a voice actor in a studio for only 30 minutes to read out a script, and then we can create a custom voice for you. Isn't that amazing? Here are some more examples of Tacotron 2 voices. You will hear a couple of examples where one is the original actor reading out the script, and the other example, that's the generated voice. Now, I'm curious if you can hear the difference.
Generative adversarial network or variational autoencoder. Basilar membrane and otolaryngology are not autocorrelations.
And note how Tacotron 2 pronounces the word read in the first two phrases.
He has read the whole thing. He reads books. He has read the whole thing. He reads books.
So it also understands the language really well and knows how to pronunciate it. Really cool, isn't it? Yeah, so as you have seen, this solution makes use of many Google Cloud components on the fly. And that's actually also my message when you're building conversational AIs, whether it's for the voice assistant or for a chatbot or a contact center, you're probably are making use of multiple components. It's similar as when you build a website. A website is also not just HTML, it also requires a lot of other components and other technology as well, such as databases, analytics, a server, you need to host it somewhere, and so on. And that's the same for chatbots. When you're building a chatbot or a conversational AI with voice, you probably are doing tricks with analytics. You want to capture the analytics because you want to figure out what has been asked in the past. You want to store your application somewhere. You probably make use of databases and web services to fetch information. Yeah. So it's much more than just Dialogflow or speech technology. In fact, in Google Cloud, we have over 200 different building blocks, and it is just like Lego. It's like stacking up all these components on top of each other. So instead of buying Lego at a Lego store, individual blocks in different shapes, you should think about building products like the Millennium Falcon, like chatbots. Here, let's have a look in some examples. In this first demo, you will see that I integrated my conversation in a website. This is a Webchat. This is a banking portal, a fake banking portal, which I've created for demo purposes. And you can see that I can navigate to the chatbot, and the chatbot will greet me with a welcome message. I can start my conversation. For example, I would like to transfer money. To which bank account number would you like to transfer the money to? 123456789. And how much do you want to transfer? 23 euro. And what is the destination country? Germany. All right then, I will transfer 23 euro to bank account number blah to Germany. Is there anything else I can help you with? In my next example, I will show you how this experience will look like on a Google Assistant. What you see here on the screen, that is the Google Assistant simulator. This means that I can access my app from my laptop or my PC. But since it's also linked to my Google email address, I can also access it via my Nest Hub, my Google Home, or via a phone. And this will work without bringing it to production. I just need to wake it with the wake words, "Hey Google, talk to my test app." Well, let's give it a try. In the simulator, I click on Talk to my test app.
Let's get the test version of my test app.
Hello, I'm Babs the banking bot. I can help you with transferring money, requesting your balance, or I can tell you your payment history. How can I help you?
Now you can see that I can type my search queries here, or I can speak it in by pressing the microphone button, and this is what I will do. I would like to transfer money.
To which bank IBAN number do you want to transfer money?
And please pay attention when I say the bank account number, because you see that the machine learning model, they first hear something else and then they correct it while I'm speaking. 0123456789.
What's the amount you want to transfer?
45 euro.
What's the destination country?
Spain it is.
All right, I will transfer 45 euros to bank account 0123456789 Spain. Is there anything else I can help you with?
What will it cost?
It costs 15 euro to transfer money to Spain.
Now let's try to call a contact center where a robot will pick up the phone and how this will sound.
Hello, I'm Babs the banking bot. I'm here to help you with transferring money. Also, I can tell you how much money you have in your account. Please tell me, how can I help you? If you want to speak with an employee, please say, I would like to speak to someone.
I would like to transfer money.
What bank account number would you like to transfer money to?
0123456789.
What's the amount you want to transfer?
20 euro.
What's the destination country?
Germany.
All right, I will transfer 20 euros to bank account 0123456789 Germany. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Yeah, how long will it take?
The receiving banks often take 2 to 4 days for funds to be released to customers to make sure it's not a fraudulent transaction. Is there anything else I can help you?
No, that's it. Thank you. Back to the Webchat demo. Now, as you now know, we have created working experiences for web, smart assistants, and telephones. Since I store every incoming chatbot message in BigQuery, and since I have a session ID, I will be able to request a transcript. So let's give it a try. You can see here a dashboard that I've created in my website. And you see here, because I also detect the sentiment through natural language understanding, I can make a list of the top 10 most negative chatbot responses. So people that were angry at the chatbot, for example. Now, if I look into this list, I see here like a sentiment score of -80%. This person is really annoyed. Now let's have a look and see what went wrong in this chatbot conversation. So I copy the session ID and I scroll down where I want to track my conversation. Basically what I do is I tell the database, or in this case BigQuery, I select every chatbot message where the session ID equals to this, and then sort on date and time. What you will get is a result like this. And you can see here, like the person asked, like, did my salary came in today? And the chatbot, it wasn't programmed to give that answer. It didn't have training phrases for that. So it said like, sorry, what was that? It detected the default fallback intent. My salary, when will I receive it? Again, chatbot didn't know what to answer. Did my company transfer money? Again, chatbot didn't know what to answer. And now the person gets really annoyed and it tells that to the chatbot. And again, even when people are angry, chatbot doesn't know what to answer. You see here that the sentiment score now goes like really low. So what did I learn from this? Well, first of all, when people are angry, my chatbot doesn't know what to answer. The least thing that I could do is I could create an intent that can handle emotions. A better experience would be to hand over the call to an employee who can see the transcript and can take over the conversation and calm the customer down. The other, and I think this is the most important thing of today, is that what I learned here is that apparently customers are asking for different questions than that my chatbot was programmed for. So what I should do is I should go back into Dialogflow and create an intent where people can ask for salary so that I can handle those type of questions. And just to be honest, I actually don't need sentiment to detect that the customer gets angry. If I get a second fallback intent after the first one, well, I can probably guess that my customer isn't happy. And with that, I would like to end this. Wouldn't it be nice to build one AI solution that can answer all types of questions and is available from anywhere? So we're thinking about cross-channel, omnichannel, like combining all these channels all together to build like one conversational experience for your users. So it doesn't matter anymore if your users come in via the Google Assistant, via a phone, via a website or social media. It's all been powered through Dialogflow. That's the masterpiece here that does the NLU, that understands what has been asked, and it can direct you to the right channels. Back to the phone line, maybe to a human agent that picks up the phone. Maybe the results will be shown on the website or on social media. It shouldn't matter. As long as you always capture your analytics, because that's the way how you can improve over time. Even if you only just add one new AI channel to your existing technology stack, I think you can already trim business costs, like the 8 billion use case that you saw in the beginning. Thank you very much.